Hello silver friends, this is Joli from Quick Silver Hair, and today we are trying out the Curlsmith Defrizzion Curl Reviving Wand. So this came out in early spring, I think it was April or March. I decided to get it for my birthday for myself in June, and I'm just now getting to where I can come on here and do a first impressions review with you. As many of you know, life has kind of gotten in my way lately, and I wanted to do something fun today. So I am doing this to share my first impressions of this device with you today. I wanted to get this because it was designed by Curlsmith to be safe for curly hair. And the temperature ranges on it were also safe for silver hair. So even if you don't have curly hair, this might be a solution for you to create beachy waves or tighter curl patterns. So if this sounds interesting to you, let's try out this device. Let's get started. First off, it has heat control technology, engineered for curls, revitalizes natural curls, coils, and waves for a refreshed look, controls frizz effortlessly, low heat exposure for healthier looking curls. And it comes with 3 types of wands. One of the wands has 2 versions. One goes away from your face on either side. So one's for the right side and one's for the left side. And I'll show you those in just a second. First wand is called the Wiggle, and it is designed for loose to tighter curls. So you're gonna go this direction on your head, so it's looser up here and tighter at the bottom. And then you have the Loop-de-loos, which there are 2 of these. One goes one direction and the other one goes the other direction. And they have this kind of cool little wrap in there where you can create your own coil. This is designed for waves and loose curls in opposite directions. And the final wand is called the Twistin' Taper, and this is for tighter curls and coils. And I can imagine that that's going to create a very tight coil. It comes with a heat glove and a carrying case, which is really nice. It's got a zippered pouch for the handle, and then it's got slides for each of the wands. Nice case. And here's the handle, and it has a plus and minus here with the power button for controlling the heat. There are 13 heat settings between 210 degrees and 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it has a generous 9-foot cord, which I love because I like having a cord I can actually have enough room to use the device with. I think we can all appreciate that. I want to start off with this one. I just want to test it out because I know this is not anywhere near what my curl pattern is, but I would like to show you what it's like. So you line up these 2 dots, snap it into place, get it in there nice and tight, and I am going to set it to 380 degrees, or 280 degrees, I'm sorry. While that heats up, I want to share with you some of the details on this device. So I took my trusty thermometer, and it beeps when it's done heating up. So I took my trusty little infrared thermometer and I checked the temperatures on it at certain settings. So the low setting of 265, I measured it at 265 to 275 degrees. So it's staying well within its range. I bumped it up to 370 because the highest you really want to go with silver hair is 365 degrees. And it actually stayed pretty much between 350 degrees and 367 degrees Fahrenheit. At 400 degrees, it went up all the way to 393 degrees, but it did not go past that. So it was hovering between 380 degrees Fahrenheit and 390 degrees Fahrenheit, just to give you a reference point of those temperature ranges. One of the cool things is they give you this little card here that tells you about this device, and it has this heat guide on the back, which I would highly suggest if you get it, you check this out. So there's this little heat guide here. And it says from 400 to 450 degrees, it's too hot. So they are in line with thinking about heat damage. And explore and experiment, create your own style is 300 to 400 degrees. And between 220 and 300 degrees is enhance and define, refresh your natural curls. That's where we're gonna go today. Because one of the things that I was really curious about with this device was whether or not it was going to be helpful for refreshing my curls. I have that curl type that loses its shape within about 24 hours. And depending on what I've done, sometimes my curls are gone within a few hours after I've washed my hair. One of my problems with doing video is that I have to do my videos on a wash day, basically, in order for you to see my hair in its curly state. That's not always fair because I don't always have time to do a wash day, but I do need to do filming. Those are the days usually you see me with straight hair because I will get my Paul Mitchell Neuro hot brush out and I will straighten my hair out. I don't like doing that very often because I don't really like straightening my hair. But one of the things that I have found for many people with silver hair is that we all suffer from this same type of issue, and that is that we either have curly hair on the bottom and straight hair on the top, or curly hair on the top and straight hair on the bottom, or like me, it's just a mishmash from curly to straight, from straight to 2A to 2B to 2C to 3A. That's what's all on my head. And that can be frustrating because sometimes you can't get the right haircut that matches all of the curl patterns. And I think this is a great device to help enhance what you need to where it might not be matching the rest of your curl pattern. So say you do have a wash day and like me, you have some straight pieces that you want to just incorporate into the rest of your curls the way the rest of your hair curls. I think it's a really great idea, and I think it's something that's really helpful for those of us that have this issue where we have multiple curl patterns or different textures on the upper layer versus the lower layer. Anyway, let's get into this. This is my first impressions of this device. I wanted to check it out with you, and let's get started. So first off, I need to prep my hair. I want to use a heat protectant, even though this device is made for curly hair and to be heat safe. I don't think that you can be 100% heat safe with silver hair, but I have EVOLVh. This is a UV and heat protection serum. This is WonderBalm Magic for Curls. I'm gonna tell you, this is my third bottle of this, and the first bottle I said I was not gonna buy another bottle, and the second bottle I said I was not gonna buy another bottle. Here I am with the third bottle because it's perfect for this. It's a clear serum. It kind of melts right in. And because this is my second day hair, I have leave-in and gel in my hair already from yesterday's style. So this is great for putting on top of other product and not feeling like your hair is getting really producty, and you get the benefit of the heat and the UV protection. So this is what I'm using, and I will prep my hair for using these tools. So first this little skinny wand I want to use on the underlayer because if it tightens it up a lot like I expect it to, I can hide it because I have to film another video after I'm done with this one today. All right, get my hair put up, and I'm just going to get a little tiny bit because I've only got a little section of hair back here that needs heat protection. So this is my dark hair that's left, and it has a completely different texture than the rest of my hair. It has, I think it's a little bit more coarse, and it has a much tighter curl pattern when it can do its own thing. It kind of wants to be rather frizzy most of the time. So I'm gonna just grab a piece here and see what this little tool does. I imagine this is gonna be a very tight coil, so let's see what it looks like. So you just wrap and I just reach in and touch to see when that hair gets warm. I'm gonna kind of tighten it up against my scalp a little so I have a little bit more curl there. Okay. Whoo! Yeah, it gives a nice tight curl. I'm gonna have to undo that. But look at that, just total coil. So if you have this tight of a curl pattern on your head, can you imagine? I would just, that's so cool. I wonder what my whole head would look like that. that could be a little experiment I could do at some other time. We'll have to talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna stretch it out a little because I want to see if it will stretch out. Okay. That stretched out is pretty close. Mine doesn't boing that much, but that's pretty close to what that wants to naturally do on its own usually. Okay, I'm gonna switch wands. Next, I wanna try this little one called the Wiggle. I imagine I would probably do my whole head with this wand. And I'm gonna put it back at 280. Oh, it's got a memory in it, so it automatically went back to 280. We're gonna wait for that to heat up. While that wand is heating up, I do need to mention I paid for this device myself. This video is not sponsored. And I paid all in about $200 for all of this, which I feel like is fair given how many tools there are and the safety level it has for those of us with curly and silver hair. All right, let's see what this one does. All right, I'm gonna go right back into this one and just kind of loosen this up. So. There we go. That's actually a little closer to my curl pattern. I want to tighten this end up here. Okay. That did not help. Y'all have to pardon me. I do not know how to style my hair. I'm serious. Like, I have never done anything but wear my hair curly. So if you're new to my channel, forgive me. I probably don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm giving it a good college try. All right, so let's go in and do another one. I think I would do the whole underneath of this. Oops, okay. Little learning curve. This device gets hot, so you gotta watch your fingers or wear the glove. I'm being a daredevil and not wearing the glove. Okay, okay. This is kind of buggy. I don't really care for that, but I guess if you can get it in there a little tighter. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can fix this one. I'm having so much fun right now. Oops, okay. I gotta look at it because I can't see in the mirror. Put a little kink in that. Okay, that's not playing fair. Let me try it up here. Y'all, okay, let me try that. Okay, there we go. Maybe? No, I don't know. I'm gonna give up on that. Okay, let me see. I want to see what this looks like if you comb it out, right? Because you're not going to leave it in that coil. Oof, I'm not sure about that. Let's give it a bigger piece. Let's see what it looks like if you have a little bit more hair in there. Okay. Go in again. All right, there we go. A little bigger piece. I was using too fine a piece. Okay. I didn't want to get too big of a chunk in there and then you can't get it to curl, right? So, all right, let's get this piece. Let's see what this looks like. This hair is getting a little finer in this section, so we'll see how well this does. Okay. Ah, all right. So you can get kind of a beachy wave with it. That's nice. This kind of tool makes me, feel like I can explore other curl types, which I don't get to do because my hair is what it is. And this kind of gives you that opportunity to see what your hair would look like with a different curl pattern in it. And I don't know about you, but I'm a little shy of perms. I don't want to perm my hair. So it's not something I'm super interested in doing just because perms can yellow your hair. You can get too tight of a curl pattern and then you got to live with it until it grows off. You kind of get into that, like you just don't want to do that. I don't know. I just don't want to perm my hair. Ooh, okay. I think I had too big of a section there. Let's try that again. Smaller section. Okay. There we go. So clearly this takes a little bit of learning. You have to kind of figure out how it's best going to work for each section of your hair. But, just separate that out. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I mean, if you're having one of those days where it's just not all coming together, you can see how this would make life so much easier. I switch to the loop-de-loo wands now and see how those do on the upper layers of my hair. Okay, prep my hair while that's heating up. I'm going to go ahead and comb this out because yesterday, even though it was a wash day, I had to go to physical therapy and then I worked out this morning. So my curls are just gone from my wash day yesterday. So I'm going to smooth that out and we're going to create all new curls today with that. A little pump of this. I use just a little pea-size amount of it. It spreads pretty evenly, so you don't have to use a lot. Okay, let's see what the loop-de-loops does. I'm noticing that getting it up near your scalp is difficult, so you're not smoothing out the root line area. Okay, so we're getting kind of a beachy, loose wave on my hair. There's nowhere in my hair pattern that looks like that. I'm noticing that the loop-de-loo, like in this area, is not going to curl this hair. So this is a section of my hair that is its curliest, and directly behind it is a section of my hair that is its straightest. So let's see if switching wands helps this curl pattern out a little bit. I'm going to switch back to the wiggle wand. Yeah, there we go. Get a little bit better curl pattern in there. Get this piece and go away from my face. Okay. Most interesting. And see, it's one thing you got is you're missing sections if you're doing it with your hair straight. If you're doing your hair curly, you're going to pick up your curls to refresh them. But in this case, because my hair kind of straightened out from yesterday, I am, struggling to pick up a whole section like you would with just refreshing a curl. I hope that makes sense. This isn't bad. This looks styled, of course. It doesn't look like my natural curls. It would look like my natural curls if I was only, fixing a couple of pieces here and there. But I can see how this would be a really nice way to refresh your hair for a special event, for photos, for filming, for, going to a Christmas party or any kind of thing where you'd like your hair to just kind of stay a little bit more styled and a little bit more cohesive, because as we all know, curly hair can be rather unpredictable. Okay, I'm going to do this side and we will come back in a minute. So I've been switching back and forth between the wiggle wand and the loop-de-loo wands. And what's really nice is they'll stay warm, so you can switch back and forth and they heat up pretty quickly. So you can switch, without having to wait forever for each wand to heat up. You do have to use the glove to take the wand off so you don't burn yourself. But that's a nice little feature also when you need to switch back and forth like I'm doing. And I found that that was really helpful. I want to go back and do this section so those match a little better. They're very different. Let me see if I can get a good grip on it this time. I had that right side pretty tight on here. Let me see if I can get the left side to match. One thing I'm noticing is it has a little bit of tangle here. You're getting, the hair gets caught on the feet. There we go. All right. I am going to loosen this up. Give it a little finishing hairspray. I like Loma's finishing hairspray for finishing my heat styles. So as you can see, just playing with it a little bit, I've been doing this for about 30 minutes. I have refreshed my hair to look somewhat similar to my normal hair pattern. I might have been able to achieve a better result there if my curls had not been so stretched out from all of what I did yesterday and today before I got to this point. But I've spent about 30 minutes all in here playing with the different wands. And of course, it's got a learning curve. You will get faster with it. And if you're only freshening up a few pieces, it's only going to take you a few minutes to correct where you may have lost some curl. Overall, I think this looks pretty nice. It's not perfect because I haven't really learned the tool completely yet. Anyway, I've really enjoyed using this tool. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very useful. I really feel like it's worth the money and I can't wait to use it more often. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions video. I had fun today, which I needed to do. As always, everything will be linked in the description box below. You can buy this tool at Curlsmith. I believe you can get it at Ulta. I purchased mine from Amazon.com. You can like this video if you found it helpful, and if you want to leave a comment or question, please do so. I would love to talk to you about this tool. That's one of my favorite things about posting videos, is talking to you. If you found this video helpful and you would like to see more content like this and you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so now because I would love to see you next time. Until then, shine on.